Are you ever going to have any more babies? Guys, that's so cool. I know, I'm just a spoiled brat. I'm in a weird mood. We loved each other, we were gonna get married, that's all there is to it. I am a procrastinator, so you know, I couldn't even tell you my secret because I don't know what it is. Hey guys, so this is the Q&A that literally like 2 people asked for, so I feel pretty good about it. So I had to redo this intro because I somehow lost the footage, but I'm back, I'm ready. Let's get into this. I wanted to do something kind of fun because I reached 5K subscribers this last week, and it's just been like mind-blowing and amazing, and I'm just so excited. Hitting 5K has been really amazing, and it was like one of my main goals for 2022 in my YouTube channel, so I'm like super duper excited to hit it in March. Like, that's crazy. I'm really happy about it, so I wanted to do this Q&A for you guys so you guys can kind of get to know me a little bit better. You guys asked a bunch of questions, so I put it on my community tab, just like asking if you guys had any questions for me, and you guys came through. I'm so excited, and yeah, so I got my Spain hat on and just gonna kind of hang out, drink my water. It's important. So I have a ton of questions. I have no idea if I'm going to be able to get through all of them, and some people asked multiple questions, so I'm just going to try and make sure I answer one question from each person, and because some people asked the same question that someone else asked, so I'm probably not going to be able to get through all of them just because it will be a really long video, but I am really excited to get through these. Okay, so we're gonna start with Water Lily's question. This first one is, what was your husband's reaction when you told him about your planning to become a minimalist? Is it something that both of you came up with, or is it like something either one? It was all me. I came up with it. So I found Dawn from The Minimal Mom, and she's basically the first person that really introduced it to me. I didn't really know what a minimalist was before I came across her channel, and like I knew what decluttering was, and I knew like how, like I knew that you shouldn't have too much stuff in your house, but I didn't really know what a minimalist was per se. So when I came across Dawn, I just kind of binge watched all of her stuff, and it took me over a year to decide to actually like pursue becoming a minimalist. Before I was just like, yeah, I'll just declutter and I'll make my life a little bit better here and there, and I would say like I don't think I could become a minimalist, but now I'm like, I'm gonna be a minimalist because it's just what seems to be, it just seems to be such a good goal for me because I am such a cluttered and untidy person. And so yeah, so Devin was not super on board, and he's like, he is a great husband, and he'll be like, with anything that I want to do, he'll be like, yeah, let's try it, you know, let's see if it's actually something you want. And I think he also kind of like, because I get obsessed with things, so I think he's also trying to make sure that I'm proving that I actually want to do this instead of it just being like a thing that's just like kind of like I breeze through it. But no, I'm very dedicated to becoming a minimalist. But yeah, it was not his idea. It was definitely my idea, and yeah, so we're just trying it. Okay, she did ask one more question. She said, is there anything that I regret filming within my home and everything? And you know, I mean, sure, there's times when I'm like, oh, I probably shouldn't have put that in the video, but it's not like anything major. So her question, she's mostly asking because it's like ugly comments or something. And yes, I've gotten some ugly comments and some rude people, but I just try not to let it bother me. Like, I've been doing YouTube a really long time, and there's just only so much I can do about it, you know? I don't know, it's just life. Life sucks sometimes. People are mean sometimes. You kind of just have to work your way through it and not let it bug you too much. So the next question is from Jacqueline Maloney, and she asks, was your family home and childhood bedroom cluttered? And then she asked like, where do I live and what clutter bug style Devin is. And so, okay, so my childhood home, I kind of mentioned this in the why I want to be a minimalist video where I folded laundry and just kind of chatted with you guys. And I basically, like, my bedroom was a disaster and my home was very cluttered. We had a lot of things. We just had a lot of stuff, and I wouldn't say that that's the best thing, and I wouldn't say it's necessarily the worst either. I think that I'm used to having clutter, and I'm used to having way too much of everything. And I remember just like looking in the cupboard sometimes and there's 55 plates and 10 are only ever used every day, or we do go through 55 of them and then we have to do 10 loads of dishes before all the dishes are clean. So it's just better not to have too much stuff, I guess. My mom was so busy, my dad was so busy, and it was just like, we were just a busy family. Also, where I live in Utah, in the US, so there you go. I don't know, it's a great state and very dry and drives me crazy because I have eczema, so my hands are always dry, forced. And then she asked what clutter bug style Devin is. So Devin is the clutter bug style. I think he might be a B. I don't know. Honestly, Devin doesn't ever organize, so I don't really know what kind of style of organization he is. I'd have to like look and see. I think he might be a cricket. I think he could be a cricket because I think that if he could, he would like organize everything into small categories, but I don't really know. I'd have to see. I don't know. This is just me speculating because I've never actually seen him organize anything really. That's kind of funny. I'll have to see him organize something in the future. Okay, so the last question she said was, can you take a tour of your home? And I already took a tour of my home. This is the reason I took a tour of my home, was because she was like, hey, you should do a tour of your home. And I was like, yes, I should. And then I did that video. So if you want to check it out, I'll have it linked below. So the next question is from Maya Bolin. And she said, what's the biggest lesson you've learned so far in your decluttering journey? And did you have an aha moment? So my biggest lesson, I would say that my biggest lesson of decluttering is just don't take it so seriously. Not everything needs to be done perfectly, and I'm not a perfect human being, so just 1% better, just doing it just slightly better each time, and just trying to get slightly better every day is just all you can really do. Don't take it so seriously. Just try and do slightly better tomorrow than you did today, and then continually to do that. So, and then one day your house will be decluttered and you'll have a really, really great life, and it's because you worked every single day. Just 1% better, you know? And then my aha moment is just like, my aha moment was probably when I realized I was sentimental. I didn't realize I was sentimental. I didn't know I was so sentimental about like dance clothing and, well, not so much toys. I think I'm more like, I have guilt about toys, but I'm sentimental about like my wedding dress. And someone, oh, I don't know if I have this question. Oh, I think, okay, I do know who it's from though. So Sandra from Scotland asked about my wedding dress. This wasn't on the community tab. I think it was on, maybe it wasn't, but it was a different post, so I don't know where it is. But Sandra from Scotland, about my wedding dress, she asked how much it would cost to clean it and everything, and I did look into it. I just kind of like quickly looked into it, and I think it'll be about like $300 because of the fire issue and everything. But yeah, so you asked about that, Sandra, and thank you. And then you asked like what it would do, if it would help me on my decluttering journey. And the thing is, it might. I think it would just, it wouldn't really help me with the decluttering journey necessarily, but it would help me emotionally in the fact that like my childhood home burnt down basically. Like the whole inside was completely gone, and it's weird. There's a lot of weird things that go along with it, but you know, life is life, and just kind of deal with those kinds of things. And I don't know if it would really help my minimalism journey, other than the fact that it just wouldn't be in my basement smelling like smoke. It would be in a box or a garment bag, and I could actually use it or pass it on to someone. And you know, it's just kind of hard. But yeah, I'm still looking into it, still saving up money for it, trying to decide when the right time to do that is. And since we're paying off debt, it just hasn't been a priority, you know. So I just remembered that question. I don't know how I remembered it, because I have a terrible memory, but you know, it's fine. All right, and then Jacqueline Lewis asked if we're planning on having more babies, and then she was also asking what my favorite spot to keep clean is, and if I'll ever declutter my garage. So my favorite spot to keep clean is my countertops. If I could keep those clean, my life would it would be good. It would be wonderful. That's the spot that I love to have the countertops clean. I just feel like my house is put together if they're clean, even if the rest of it looks like crap. And I don't know, yeah, countertops are really nice to keep clean. So that's my favorite thing. And then if we're decluttering the garage, oh my gosh, yes, in the future, I'm hoping to get that done maybe this summer. We'll see. I would like to get it done, but we just have so much going on in the next couple months. So we'll see if we can get it done. I mean, it's not summer yet, so we've got time until summer, and then we'll have the summer to work on it and declutter it, and hopefully we can get it to a good spot. It's just, there's so much stuff in there. And then she asked if we're gonna have more babies. And yeah, I would love to have more kids, and I think Dan would be such a good big brother. So hopefully in the future we'll have more kids. You know, you never know. So Devin and I both definitely want more than the one. So I think it'll be really fun to have more. So Kaylee asked, what did you do after high school, and did you go to university or did you go straight to work? And then she also asked like where I traveled, like how long did I travel, and because she loves hearing about my trips. So after high school, it kind of goes hand in hand with the traveling, and I'm gonna kind of go through like kind of after high school to now, or basically like till I got married, because I haven't traveled since I got married. So after high school, the semester, so the fall semester after I graduated high school, I went to China. So I was there for 4 months, and I taught English to 4- and 5-year-olds, and it was an amazing experience. I would say everyone should have some kind of travel experience after they graduate and before they like start a family. And I think that it's just such a good, it's a good way to like learn about other cultures, and it's a good way to experience the world. And so I went to China, and I don't know if I'd ever want to do that trip again now that I know, like now that I'm older, and it's a young person's trip, you know. So I came back from China, and then that next semester I took off, and I was just working. I was a nanny until 2013, I believe. Fall of 2013, so a year after I went to China, I started college, and I went to college for about 1.5 years, I think. And during that 1.5 years, I took a English trip to England and Scotland and Ireland, and it was like for English class, not like an English trip. I guess it kind of was because we went to England, but it was for my English class, and like I got credit for going and everything, and that was really cool. But we went to England, Scotland, and Ireland, and we traveled for like 2.5 weeks, and that was really neat. And I would love to go back to England and Scotland and Ireland. Dublin was my favorite. I would get an apartment there and just travel there every other month if I could. I loved it. It was beautiful. It was spring of 2014. And so fast forward another 4 years, spring of 2018, I knew Devin at that point. We were actually, I think we were engaged, or we were going to be, yeah, we were going to be engaged soon. We had already like gone to look at rings, I think, or we were like gonna go look at rings. We loved each other. We were gonna get married. That's all there is to it. So I went to Italy and Spain with my mom. That was an amazing trip. So she was doing it she teaches high school, so she was doing it as like a teacher for high school, and so I had to pay my own way, which was worth it, and I loved it. But I just kind of went as she had to get like 10 people to go, and I was like, I want to go. So I went with her because I wasn't married yet. When I signed up for the trip, it was before I'd met Devin, so I wasn't married. I was just like, yeah, sure, might as well go, like that'd be fun. And I was just going to school, and you know, it was really fun. I would recommend. It was really great. And so I went with my mom. That was really, really awesome. That was the last trip I've been on, was in 2018. So it's been a few years. I would love to go on another trip. Maybe, oh, Italy was, okay. Italy, Sorrento, Italy is like also my favorite place in the world. And it's just so beautiful. Oh my gosh, okay. I just want to go back. Let's just all make a trip and we'll go head over there and we'll hang out. That would be fun. Okay, Trisha McLean asked, does creating videos keep you motivated / on task? And then also, when did you start your channel? So yes, making videos keeps me motivated. I mean, it probably does detract from how much I can get done, just because it does take time to film, move the camera, edit, post. It does take time to do all those things, and that's completely fine because I love YouTube so much. But yeah, it does detract from it a little bit, but I probably wouldn't be as far along either, because I wouldn't feel so, I wouldn't feel like I'd have to declutter. And I mean, it's not like I feel like I have to declutter, but like I'm like, oh, what can I do for this video? And like, what can I do for this video? And you know, like pushing myself to declutter things by pulling out the camera, if that makes sense. So yeah, I think it does keep me on task. It just pushes it forward a little bit, and I wouldn't say that I am that good at it. And I'm just trying to like move myself forward just a little bit every time. And yes, posting videos does help, I think, for me specifically, because I am a procrastinator. So why did I start my channel? Oh, she said, why did I start my channel, not when. Why did I start my channel? This is a long story too. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I started my channel in 2013. Yeah, so after I got back from China, I started my channel. I was like, hey, you know what? I like to sing. Guys, I started a singing channel. Yeah, this channel used to be a singing channel, and it's evolved over time. I've taken down all my singing videos, so sorry you can't watch those. Maybe one day we can look at them together, but I'm just like, ooh, yeah, cringe. Okay, but anyway, so I started my channel as a singing channel, and it just evolved over time. I was doing like lifestyle videos, and then I was doing like vlog type videos, like I went to Disneyland with a friend and I vlogged that. And I never knew what I was really posting for at the time. So the moment I got pregnant was when I realized, that's right, this is what I was meaning to do. This is what I've been wanting to do the whole time, but I just didn't have the ability to do it because I didn't have a baby, I wasn't pregnant, and I didn't have the motherhood type content that I wanted because I wasn't a mom. So the moment I became a mom, I was pregnant, and I started posting videos about my pregnancy, and I realized that's what I was really passionate about. And so I was watching Dawn, and you know, and so I started doing minimalism, and this is where we are now, and I really love this type of content. I was already doing content like this before, but it wasn't targeted, if that makes sense. So now that it's targeted, it's actually working for me, so I'll take it. Okay, so J-Dub asked, how did your husband get on board or even help with declutter? Sorry, that was not a sentence that came out of my mouth well. Okay, she said, how did your husband get on board, or has he even helped with decluttering? And no, he hasn't really helped much with decluttering, but that's not really his job. His job is to go to work and provide, because I wouldn't be able to do YouTube or declutter or do anything without him working. I would have to have another job. Decluttering really isn't on his radar. He's also going to school right now, so he's pretty busy, so he just, no. Like sometimes he'll watch Dan for me so I can film or edit a video, and that's really helpful. That's probably more helpful than him actually decluttering with me, just saying. And then she asked if I prefer to sell or donate items. I prefer to to donate. I don't mind selling them if it's like a specific item that I only have to keep the one item, but if I have a big collection of stuff that I've decluttered, I just want to get it out. I don't even want to deal with it, but honestly, even with the big stuff, I'm like, just get it out of my life. I don't need it. I think donating is probably the best bet for me. Rachel F asked, what has been the most rewarding part of having a YouTube channel? And oh man, YouTube is just, I have a love story with YouTube, so just ask my husband, he knows. And I would say that the most rewarding part is just helping people. Even if it is just to put a smile on someone's face for a moment, like that's super awesome. And I love content that gives me a little bit of happiness, you know? And yeah, so I think it's really fun being able to get to know you guys and knowing that I'm making even the teensy little bit of a difference in people's lives. And then Brianna asked, what made you start a YouTube channel? Because she's glad I did. And I think it just goes back to, I started the YouTube channel as a singing channel. I started the YouTube channel because I always knew that I wanted to be a singer, and so I started it for singing. But then I grew to love YouTube so much, and it didn't even need to be singing content anymore. It just needed to be something, and then it took me a while to find what I really loved posting about. And so I'm really glad that I did too. I'm glad I started a YouTube channel 10 years ago, and it's been a long time. So I think it's really fun. I think everyone should do what they love to do, even if it's just a hobby, because I've been doing this as a hobby for 10 years, okay? Or 9 years, I guess, technically, but like... Oh, okay, so Sandra's question is from... She did post it on this one. Okay, so I already answered that. Thank you for the question, Sandra. Sandra from Scotland. I want to go visit you. But you were the one that asked about the dress question. I thought you had asked it on a different question, on a different post, so I just wanted to make sure I got to that one. But I already did, so that's cool. Regina Goss asked 5 questions. So her first one was, have you started a memory box yet? I did made a video about that, and yeah, you can check that out. I'm just breezing past that one. Number 2 is, how many siblings do I have, and like where am I located on the list of siblings? I have 4 siblings, and they're all older than me, so I'm the youngest. I know, I'm just a spoiled brat, that's all there is to it. So I have 3 older sisters, so it goes my oldest sister, second older sister, then my brother, and then the sister that's right above me, and then there's me. That was not correct ordering, but okay, so me, my sister, my brother, sister. That's the order that we're in. And yeah, it's fun. The next question is, besides living with less stuff, what is another reason for becoming a minimalist? And I kind of noticed this when I made my video of like why I became a minimalist, or why I'm becoming a minimalist video. I realized that I really only talked about like, I want less stuff in my life, and that's not the only reason. It's a big reason. It's a huge reason. I feel overwhelmed all the time. Really, it's so that I can have more time with people that matter. It's so I can have more bandwidth to go outside with Dan, and I can take the dogs for walks and not feel overwhelmed when I walk in the door. And it's like, I just want to feel like I have more control, and I want to feel like I have more time with Dan and Devin and the people that matter to me. So just, you know. And then she asked, I love how your channel is shifting gears to some cooking, grocery hauls, etc., but still attaining your main focus. Do you think you will continue doing that? And yeah, I will, because I don't really like doing the same things over and over and over and over and over again. I like to kind of mix it up a little bit. I think that's what I am with life, because I don't like to just do one thing all the time. And if I did, I would feel really, really bored. I would feel really, oh gosh, yeah, just really bored. So she did ask what makes me adorable, and I don't know the answer to that question. I think it's just because I'm just cute. I don't know if it's attainable. I'm sorry. I don't think that anyone else can have this, and it's just mine, and no one can steal it from me. So, you know, I couldn't even tell you my secret because I don't know what it is. Just kidding. Don't know. I don't feel adorable. Does that make you feel better? I don't feel that adorable, but thank you. Oh gosh, I'm in a weird mood. Sophie Goff asked, what software do I use to edit my videos and what camera? I use Final Cut Pro and I really like it. I think it's a great editing software. And then my camera that I'm using currently is my G7X Mark II. It's a good camera and I'll have it linked below if you guys want to check it out. I've had it for a long time, so it probably could be upgraded. I know that they have a Mark III now that I might look into. Okay, and then the next one, her profile name, it cracks me up. Adequate Adult asked, is it an illusion of film or is Dan's new room larger than your main bedroom? Is there a reason that you're giving him the bigger space? Okay, so I think it's a little bit bigger. I like measured it one day and I was like, yeah, it's like 1 foot larger on one side, but it's also 1 foot skinnier. I don't like the other way. So honestly, it probably evens out kind of. I think our room is more square and his room is a little bit more rectangular. And so yes, I think it's a little bit bigger maybe, but the closet is smaller and I don't want to move my room. And I mean, I could move my bedroom and that would be fine, but I kind of like where my bedroom is too. I think it's a nice area for my room, so I don't care. It's not a big deal. Jessica Brown said, if you could give a new wife one housekeeping tip, what would it be? Have a strong stomach? Just kidding. I don't know. To me personally, the most important things to keep clean are the sink and the countertops. And then if you have those two things clean, everything else kind of just falls into place a little bit. You know, if you always have your countertops clean and you always have your sink clean, everything just kind of happens. Rev Robin Young asked, how do you want to save and display your items from living overseas? So if you watched my decluttering like Dana K. White video, I cleared out a closet that's next to our dining room and I was just kind of getting things out of that closet so that it wouldn't be so much of a hot spot of craziness. But one day I would like to make that into like a built-in area with like a closet on the side for all of our cleaning supplies. And then on the other side, I want some open shelving so that I can also display some of my things that I got from overseas and some of like our decorations and just things so it's kind of higher up away from Dan from being able to get into things, but also so it looks pretty. So I think I want to do that one day. We'll see. Maybe I won't because we'll see how long we stay here. Okay, Dixie Smith asked, how near are you to finishing Dan's new room? So we had the electrician come just a few days ago. That's a big win for us right now because that was something that I was just dreading not having done. And so we got all of the old kitchen electrical out of there. I just have to do wall patching and then we need to patch up the floor, paint the ceilings, paint the walls, and put the flooring in and the floorboards in, or the trim in. And then a door. It needs a door still, but oh, it's getting closer. It's getting closer and I can feel it. And I'm excited. I'm excited. I don't know how long though. Hopefully soon. I'm hoping a month. I'm hoping a month and it'll be done. I don't know. So Adeline asked, were you a good student in school? I wasn't a bad student, but I wasn't a good student. I was adequate, maybe. I was okay. I got passing grades almost all the time. School was not conducive to my brain, and maybe like people have said to me like maybe I have ADHD, and maybe I do. But I'm not that worried about it. It hasn't been an issue, so I'm not that worried about it yet. I don't know. Did I go to college? I got my associate's degree in Bachelor of Science. I don't think I actually mentioned that. My dream job as a kid was probably to be a singer, or at some point I wanted to be a fashion designer or a massage therapist. Very random, very broad. But those were my those were my three things that I wanted to be when I grew up. And then she also asks, what is it like to be a mom? And I love being a mom. It's very weird. It's different than what I expected it to be. I thought like the moment I had Dan, it would just like click. It would be like this perfect thing that I'm just like, yeah, I'm an amazing mom now. No, it's a learning curve for sure. And I knew a lot because I was a nanny for a long time before I had a baby. I think it's really cool being a mom. I think that it is such an adventure and so fun, and you learn new things about yourself and about that little boy every day. And oh, he's such a cutie. Oh my gosh, he's just hilarious. And then Aubrey asked, how did you meet your husband? So I met my husband through a dating app. Yes, I'm one of those, one of the success stories. So me and Devin belong to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and we are members of that church. And there is a dating app specifically for members of the church, and it's called Mutual. So we met each other on that app, and it just works out. It's all good. Molly Delgado asked, biggest challenge to sharing your life on YouTube, and are there rewards, and why did you start YouTube? So I kind of already talked about like why I started YouTube. And then the biggest challenge to sharing my life is probably me being worried that I'm gonna say something stupid 99% of the time. And I say a lot of stupid things all the time, not necessarily like rude things, just like really like just really dumb. Oh, I'm exposing myself. Okay, and are there rewards from YouTube? I love YouTube. I've said it 1,000 times and I'll say it 1,000 more. It is a great place to be. There are so many good things about YouTube, and I really like sharing my journey, my life on here. I don't share everything. I really like it. It's really fun. So Kimbucha asked, have you considered taking down the cabinet to the right of the sink and putting up open shelves? So Kimbucha asked that, and so did Rachel Chilcott, and they both asked if I should put like open shelving above instead of cabinetry, because for whatever reason some people just really don't like that cabinet that's above my like next to the sink. It's on the right side of the sink when you're looking at the sink. I like it there. So I'm gonna make it look nicer. I'm gonna add like curtains to the window and make it just kind of blend in a little bit better. But you know, I like it because that cabinet is very important to me to put my cups, and not having to dust everything off every 5 minutes. That's what I like. And so it doesn't matter that it's not the most aesthetically pleasing thing in the world. It's still a beautiful kitchen. I still think my kitchen looks nice. Okay, then Gina Armstrong asked, she says, maybe you could also talk about if you plan on having other kids, and if so, how many and when? And these are all questions that I don't know the answer to. I don't know how many. I think we'll stop when we feel like we need to stop, you know? We definitely want more than one, but we don't know when we'll stop yet. But unsure as to when we will have more kids. That's a future Lindsay problem, you know? Yeah. And then my friend Carrie Ann asked, what have you learned in the first few months, and what would you do differently with minimalism specifically? And I would say that I've learned a lot in the first few months of being a minimalist. And I think a lot of it is just like patience, grace, giving myself a lot of grace, being kind to myself. Honestly, you have a lot of guilt as a mom, and you have a lot of negative self-talk, and as a person, really though. And I think just trying new things can really bring you into that mindset of like, I am not good enough for this. And so I think learning the minimalism mindset has really helped me have more confidence in myself, and also learning how to declutter has been really helpful in that department as well. I don't know if I would have done anything differently though, except maybe to learn how to be nicer to myself earlier on. And you guys have been telling me from the get-go that I just need to be really kind to myself, and that's helped a lot actually. But I don't know if I would have done much differently, because it's gotten me to where I am. It's gotten me to this point. It's given me the confidence I have and the experience I have, and I don't know, I just think that we all just need to be kinder to ourselves about trying new things, and we can't expect to be perfect right off the bat or ever even, because perfection is not attainable. We need progress, not perfection. So I think that's all the questions. I don't know if I got through all of them, but I tried to answer, like, for the people that asked quite a few questions, I tried to answer most of them. But I am so grateful to all of you. I am so happy to have reached 5,000 subscribers. Guys, that's so cool. It's been a lot of fun, and showing my minimalism journey on YouTube has been amazing, and learning more about you guys and learning about minimalism from you guys in the comments. Oh, I feel so blessed. So thank you so much. I appreciate every single one of you. Just remember, you are enough. You are absolutely enough, and you can never hear that enough. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye. This dog has been trying to cuddle me this whole time. What are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? What?